Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. So, do you or someone you know work crazy long or weird hours but still want to get in shape? I've got some tips for you. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Perry Tinsley here, the creator of the Power Blast podcast, the power of possibility, passion, and purpose. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some tips for you. If you are one, or if you know someone who works crazy long, weird hours, or just has kind of that erratic work schedule, and you're wanting to get healthy and fit and in shape, and you just kind of struggle to get that momentum because of the weird work shifts. So we're talking, it could be like nurses, doctors, people who are on call for long stretches. Maybe it's night responders or people that work the swing shift. People that are at the supermarket really stocking things, or construction workers. There's a lot of different careers out there. I'm not going to name them all. But if you happen to work beyond that typical 9-to-5 sort of thing, these may be of some help to you. Some of these tips might feel like I'm getting on a soapbox, but they're necessary if that is your goal and your priority to get healthy, fit, in shape, whatever it is, lose weight. So dialing it down, probably the most important thing, and I'm going to say 80 to 90% of it is what you eat, your diet. While there's a lot of eating plans out there and things like that, a lot of times what I see or have heard people do with crazy long shifts and stuff is they'll turn to the quick fast food or the vending machine sort of thing, or the chuck wagon food vendors that may be out there. And not always the healthiest options, filled with, maybe shady ingredients, salt, etc. I'm sure there's some good options out there, but a lot of times when our defenses are down and we're stressed out or we're tired, we tend to just grab comfort food or something fast and convenient, especially if you have one of those jobs where your break times are really, really short. So this is where you've got to become a master of preparation. That means on the day that you have off, or the days that you have off, let's pretend like it happens to be Sunday, and I know I'm talking tradition here, but it can be as simple as just taking a couple of hours during that time and focusing on food prep. It could be grilling up a bunch of chicken breasts on a Sunday night and getting a bunch of steamed or frozen vegetables that you can steam or microwave, whatever, and and it's really economical too. And just maybe just a little bit of carbs, like some sweet potatoes, things like that you can microwave, dice up and stuff for quick grab and go meals. When you're prepping your own food, you're more in control of what you're putting in your body. Now you got to watch the ingredients and things like that, what's working for you and what doesn't work for you. That I experimented myself for a long, long time. Things I'd buy from the store, and because of marketing, I would see them as healthy because it said so on the package, right? And then over the years, kind of learned, no, it's not really working for me. This is kind of a process, but a lot of times people will think, oh my gosh, that's boring. But really, it's minimal effort. You can do things like You may have seen some of those salad in a jar sort of things where you put the dressing on the bottom and the different ingredients on top. You pack it in there, and then that's a quick grab and go thing. Healthy too, right? Stir fries. I used to hate vegetables, but when I started buying frozen vegetables, I'd get some really light sodium soy sauce or some salsa that I could put on it to kind of flavor it up so I didn't get freaked out by the flavor. There's different soups and things like that, stews, things. If you get an Instant Pot, that thing will make food not only fast, but can be where you just throw everything in the pot, hit a button, walk away, and then you've got enough food that you can prep for at least a few days, if not the whole week. So it does require some timing. It does require some effort, but think about your priorities instead of excuses here. A lot of times people are like, oh, I don't have the time, or you don't know my schedule. there's a lot of people out there that have a crazy, weird, awful schedule, and they're figuring out how to do it. It's just rearranging your schedule for yourself. So I won't be the one to dictate how your schedule is. You know it best. But that's one of my tips. The other one, second one, is liquid calories. There's a lot of bad liquid calories. People, especially when they're looking to get a boost of energy, they're grabbing the high energy drinks. I won't name brand here, but just those, those quick pick me ups because you're either lack of time, you don't have, you're exhausted, you're quickly, you're really hungry, you're stressed out, or you're bored. So a lot of times those energy drinks, which are filled with a lot of chemicals, a lot of sugar is going to be your worst enemy as far as trying to either drop weight, or if you're working on getting in shape, to look like it, because sugar tends to just add fat to our bodies. A lot of times people think it's fat. No, it's sugar. So people will turn to caffeine for those sort of things. So if you need to do that, I would suggest just avoiding those empty calories. I know that they're highly addicting. I used to be addicted, and I don't know, I think I was buying about 15 2-liter bottles of Mountain Dew a week and chugging those down like nobody's business because I love the caffeine. It took a long time to break away from that. I hear you. I understand that. So if you've got to go for the caffeine, go for a healthy source, black coffee, green tea. As a last result, if you've got to have one of those energy drinks, make sure it's low calorie, no sugar to it. That should at least be able to fill that void. I get it when you need to have that carbonation or that little feedback on the tongue or whatever it is. So do that. And strive for good liquid calories. There is nothing wrong with going and making a high superfood smoothie that you can pop in there. There's a lot of great recipes online. Watch for high fat or sugary ingredients. Make your own. I mean, it can be something as frozen fruit and almond milk and some protein powder. Watch for the protein powder. A lot of those have some goofy ingredients in them too. So you have to be a label reader, a nutrition label reader. Frozen, putting in spinach. I know at times it makes it green, and sometimes that freaks people out, but you really don't taste the spinach in there. Putting in some almond butter for some good fat, or even avocado. That's a great, powerful smoothie sort of thing. So you can do your research on that. Bringing a blender to work, I used to do that all the time, and I could make smoothies for lunch, or if I had that little 2 o'clock, I'm a little bit hangry, I need something, then I could turn to something that I know would be satisfying, keep me full, give me energy, and not take me off my game. So there's that. The other one is with other empty calories. And so that was liquid calories. Empty calories, like the stuff you find in the vending machine, typically chips and candy bars and things like that. If you can stay away from that area, now I know a lot of times people need to, it's there in their lunchroom, but if you can just plan ahead, bring your own snacks. A lot of times I would go as part of my Sunday, I would take baggies and scoop out some raw almonds and some dried fruit and have that as my munchie, or get a really healthy protein bar that has some fiber to it that you can have a snack on. Something that you can go to without having to grab the salty chips that, it's just extra calories that your body really doesn't need. It might satisfy you at the time, but it's really not helping you reach your goal. So if you can avoid those things, that will be a leg up. And then the exercise part. We're talking about, I would go for the strength training. I think strength training, working with some weights or even body weight exercises, really can move you to the next level. It can, when you're building muscle, not only are you kicking up your metabolism and your body starts to burn a little bit of fat, but you're shaping the muscle and redefining the body so that when you're eating eating healthy and you're starting to lose some of the weight, you're going to see some of that definition start to happen and take shape. So that is another one to really kind of look for. Like I said, there's a lot of body weight exercise. Tell you what, if you If you're looking for something specific, I always tell people to follow a plan, not just make something up off the top of their head, because chances are you won't stick with it. I've got a lot of great programs, a lot of great plans that can help you. I mean, we're talking anywhere from 4 weeks to 8 weeks to 3 months, where you can follow a very good system of strength training, get some cardio in there. Like if you can get some HIIT training in there, high intensity interval training, that is also a great calorie burner as well. And it doesn't take much time to do, just take some effort. But, even if you're just doing, you can't do that. If you're getting in some squats and some deadlifts and some pull-ups, those sort of things, body weight, think push-ups sort of things, lunges, those are some awesome exercises that you can do if you're short on time, short on equipment, short on funds to get yourself to a gym or for a workout program. So those are some ideas there. Even if you don't have time to work out, which might be an excuse, I don't know, you'll have to evaluate that yourself. But do things here and there when you're out and about. Park farther away when you go to work. I know it might be appealing to park close, but start to do more walking. Take the stairs when you can. Google, if you work in a cubicle, Google cubicle work, easy for me to say, Google cubicle or office exercises that you can do. Because there are probably some things you can do. People look at you sideways. That's kind of weird. It's your priority, not theirs. You're doing it for yourself. But there are some different exercises that you can do in and around the office that may do that. I don't know. Somebody might look at you sideways for doing some jumping jacks in your office and stuff like that. But even just to get up away from your desk every few moments, I think the boss wouldn't want that. Maybe once or twice an hour, just even to stretch, will do the body good. And just staying active when you're off, instead of just sitting mindlessly in front of the TV, maybe doing some extra exercises on the weekends or during the commercials if you do have to sit there and watch TV. Those are things that can add up over time. You have to be diligent about it. You have to be intentional if you're serious about your goals. And when you're doing this, think about, I'm active. When the brain is fired up as well and thinking, hey, I'm active. This is an active body. We're going. There's something to that, I think, that actually kicks in that can help you stay more alert at work. It can help you, blood flow a little bit better, help you feel a little bit happier, and, just overall help you to get in shape over time. So you got to take an active role in your health. Don't use your job as an excuse. I've heard a lot of people say that. And just know, it adds up over time. If you're not doing anything, that adds up over time. If you're doing something, that also can work in your favor to add up over time. So planning out your day is probably a big thing. When I was, because I was a teacher and I had an hour drive each day, so working long hours as a teacher, hour drive each day, I was exhausted when I got home. But I made that a priority. Let the dogs out, get my workout in right away before I did anything. So I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't sit down or surf the web or anything like that because I knew I'd get exhausted. Got the workout in. I always said, I'm going to commit to at least 20 minutes. That's all, 20 minutes. And then usually I'd get a lot more done when it got started. But if you commit to something like that and just exit off the calendar, I showed up, just watch the days add up and to get in shape. So that's all I have for this week. I hope these helped you. I know it kind of ricocheted in a few different directions, but if you're focused on all those different areas with the eating and the strength training and just taking the opportunity of your day, you're going to find results over time. I know the crazy long hours happen, and unless you're changing jobs, that's what you have to contend with. So you might as well take charge of what you can control and how you want to feel. My wish for you is to get in shape. Hope you can apply these. And if you know of somebody that these tips can help, please pass this along. And I really appreciate it. I don't know if you know, this podcast comes in audio and video version, and it's also on YouTube. But if you get over into the iTunes app or even your podcast app, give an honest rating and review. It helps other people find the show to get more tips so they can get in shape and feel better about themselves and live happy, fulfilling lives. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.